Because apparently the Democrats may be starting a civil war in their own party, and it's somewhat rather strange, even though they're getting some of the power back. Democratic lawmakers are split on whether to vote on a measure denouncing anti-Semitism after freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was accused of using anti-Semitic tropes. Her supporters say that it is an unnecessary resolution that unfairly targets Omar herself. However, her critics say that the rise of anti-Semitism cannot be tolerated in any form. So the question is, do we really need a resolution that says and that? Do you stand with Ilhan Omar on the issue of anti-Semitism, or are you just against it?
Well, obviously, anti-Semitism is wrong. Obviously, however, what she said you can perceive it two different ways. I believe she tweeted something like, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," and I guess that offended people because of the notion that Jews are greedy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess depending on how you look at it, you can look at it as a negative thing or a positive thing. So it depends on how she meant it. In terms of it being bad for the Democratic Party, for them to have to actually denounce that, it's just like, she is an individual. She doesn't stand for all of the Democratic Party, even though she belongs to them.
Right.
So for them to go as far to denounce her and do all that other stuff, then that's just kind of too much for me.
Yeah,
But-
and to add on to what that, I just want to point out that Fox News host Jeanine Pirro suggested that Representative Omar supports Sharia law in defiance of the U.S. Constitution because she wears a hijab, and then she goes on to comment and say that Omar's right to wear a hijab in accordance with her religious convictions is as constitutional as an Orthodox Jewish woman's rights to wear a shitol. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. No, wait, actually, this is what Stevens wrote. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm reading here. But this is what it says. If you want to look at it but it's like, I don't know what to say on this. I mean, because this is the.
But why do you need a law to specifically say that? It's kind of just like
Right.
common knowledge to just,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like Jeanine Pirro does not know what
Wow.
her point is, because she's on this fake news network, Fox News.
You think Fox is fake news?
Because
They
there's
focus on mainly on Trump's side at
Exactly.
one point.
Yeah.
So,
That's why. I mean,
I
look.
agree. It's just wrong. Like, don't do that,
Yeah.
Anti-bigotry resolution.
I mean, but where do we go from here? Because now and then you got who saying that Democrats have become an anti-Jewish party or something. I mean,
But why do they have to associate what one person said with the whole party? Is what I'm kind of confused about.
right? No, because I have this. Look, I have this information here, but I mean, feel free to glance through it, because this is an issue that I really cannot deal with in terms of the guy in the White House making up these lies, and tweets and all that, and it's like, do you even know what you're saying?
Right? He don't even know what he's saying half of the time.
Because it
okay.
seems as though you're not thinking before you're speaking, sir.
So why does it take for this minority to say something? In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I don't think that what she said was anti-Semitic, but I'm not a Jewish person, so I couldn't
Right.
speak
You
for
can't really
one.
speak
Exactly, I
for
can't
that,
relate to
yeah.
it. But why did it take for her to say something before it be all this anti-bigotry stuff when we have a president who's constantly saying things that are going against huge groups of people all the
Right.
time? So why does it take for someone who has a hijab and who her skin is a little bit darker? Why does it take for them to bring up all these things? It's
You're right. It's an interesting topic. It's really interesting. It's I see what you're saying though. Why you wait until that person? You could have been brought this up instead of why you wait until now to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the same thing to go away from this. The same thing happened with LeBron James. He actually he was in his car rapping lyrics to a song. It wasn't even his lyrics, and I think it's maybe between it and I think it was 21 Savage, and he's like, I'm getting that old Jewish money, and he got so much backfire from it, like
Yeah.
so much
wow.
because they're just like, oh, you saying that we have money is labeling us as greedy and things like that. So
The only thing that just comes to my head when you mentioned about LeBron James was the time when he got those racial slurs, those racial homophobic slurs that was like posted on the graffiti. This was a couple years ago, and yet he spoke out about it on this, and it's like you mentioned a point where racism is this is how it is, and
It's real
like,
life,
Yeah,
It's alive.
Yes.
that's his words. You know, I mean,
I just
it's
wish
tough.
it would all end. Like
Yeah.
it really, like it's 2019. It's supposed to be a new year. Like stop with the
Yeah.
racism. It's supposed to like it had been
Yeah,
over.
it's
Racism been out.
2019. Yeah, come on.
Like this whole racism, like it's been going on for years and years, and it's sad that unfortunately that it's still happening, and it's just getting worse and worse. Like when is it's gonna stop? Like when is Donald Trump gonna put it into it and really step up and be like, you know what? Like this needs to stop. It needs to be a change instead of anyway. He's promoting it. It's like he wants to be negative about it.
it's definitely a generational thing where parents are telling their kids, oh,
Yeah.
this about a black person, this about a brown person, this about a Spanish
Yeah.
person.
I want to bring up something here where, because I remember Omar talking about Obama, and I think this is probably Omar that's saying this was referring to comments to Representative Mark Meadows, Republican, North Carolina, made in 2012, where she said, where I think Omar said, but incidents like those do beg the question, where are the resolutions against homophobic statements, for anti-blackness, for xenophobia, for a member saying he'll send Obama home to Kenya?
Oh wow.
She has
That's
a point.
so
She has a point.
Well, do you agree with that? Because I'm like a bit confused on why she's bringing up Obama here.
She's bringing up to the point as saying that all these things have happened where they get a pass. There's so many passes for these other belittling remarks to certain groups of people, but as soon as it's against like someone who could pass for an Anglo-Saxon, a white person, a Jewish person, they pass as just normally white. There's a big problem. There's a big issue. There's bills and laws that have to be passed. But when it comes to like people being racist about black, Spanish, women, things like that, then it's just like, okay, whatever, we'll forget about it. You said it, you're wrong, but we leave it at that. But then as soon as it's something about a white person that labels a white person, or Jew, Jews can be any color, I guess, but normally I associate Jews with just being Caucasians. That's how I see
Yeah.
Jews.
Yeah.
And as soon as it becomes about Semitism, then it's like, oh, break the bills out, break all the big guns out. You lost your mind. Don't be talking about us like that.
Wow.
But
it's
for us, it's
sad.
the opposite. It's like
Right.
sweep it under the rug.
It's sad.
She has a very good point. Sorry to cut
It's
you
really
off.
sad. No, I'm just saying, like, it's just really sad that this is like really still going on, and like, it's just sad that it has to be like this. And she shouldn't have never mentioned Obama. Like, Obama don't have nothing to do with this right now. So
Right,
it's just
and that's the point that I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing up Obama into this? Because it seems as though you're bringing up Obama just because you didn't like what he did back then when he was president. I mean, Obama did his time. You
Right.
know?
Make it
He
sound
did
like
a
prison.
good job. He did a good job, like, he really
Yeah.
did. So
I
mean,
think she's not more so talking about Obama in a negative way, but she's talking about
just
like,
trying to make an example. a
right,
point.
yeah, because
Okay.
I think she said something about go back to Kenya.
Yes,
yeah,
she did.
go back
yeah.
to Kenya.
Right. So
Yeah.
she's probably saying like, where was this big backlash when people are telling our president go back to Kenya? There was no like big, because they were saying, oh, he's not American, he's not
Yeah, I
this,
remember
his
that.
parents are
I
that.
Yeah,
definitely
he was
I
referring
remember
to the
that.
comments made by Representative Mark Meadows back in 2012.
He said that.
Yeah.
You see, and that's
yeah.
what-
Take a look for yourself. It says that. 'Cause that's what it says. You know. I mean.
She has a
please.
point. Where are the resolutions against homophobic statements, for anti-blackness, for xenophobia, for a member saying he'll send Obama home to Kenya? She said, referring to comments from Mark Meadows. Where is it? Where is it? How can you be in a political stance and you're telling Obama, I'm going to send you back to Kenya? There's no repercussions for a man doing that. But as soon as it
Right.
becomes about a white person,
Then it's a
Yeah.
whole big
Then it's a,
problem.
oh,
It's
you have
the
lost
whole
your
world
mind.
ended. Like, oh, okay, we gotta shut the world down for
Yes.
that. I see it.
I
It's sad.
Yeah.
listen,
Why can't it just
Well,
be?
listen.
Look, I just want to say this, and I know we have to go, but look,
See where the power is.
yeah, the problem is that, well, I understand that she is a newbie and she is a freshman in Congress, but you need to see the world first, and before you give out your opinion, all right? Because it's all about thinking before you speak, or otherwise you're going to receive the backlash or be under fire for what you said, because that fact that the point you're making now may not come out true. It may come out false. So I understand you're still learning, but you need to think before you speak, okay?